GM, everyone. Very excited to be hosting this panel on Memecoins. Memecoins have been a very talked about topic this year, not only this year, but throughout the history of crypto being a thing. Just wanted to give a quick introduction, and we'll move on to the rest of the panelists to give a quick introduction as well. So my name is Cassandra. I work in Kaido AI. We're building a search engine for Web3, essentially indexing Twitter, Discord, Farcaster, and all the information. So we're trying to build an information tooling hub for crypto. We'll move on to Murad.
Hey, guys. My name is Murad. Been in crypto for a while. Investing, trading, building, doing a bunch of different things.
Mike Dudas, founder of The Block and currently managing director of Six Man Ventures, early stage investors in a bunch of phenomenal companies in the meme coin space, Pump, Magic Eden, and really excited to be here.
Zion Thomas, you guys probably know me as Ansem. Been in crypto since 2017, I would say. Trading, investing, building, do all of it.
Hey guys, my name is Andrei Grachev. Okay, yeah, in crypto since 2017. We do market making, investing, and a lot of other things on the crypto market. Thanks.
Yeah, I think we can start the panel with a bit of a history lesson, just dating back to the evolution of meme coins, what you think of the developments of the space, and were there anything that shocked you about how meme coins have evolved over time? Maybe we can start with Ansem.
Yeah, I think meme coins have gotten a lot of focus this cycle, but they've definitely been in crypto since its origins, I would say.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the top 50 altcoins year over year from 2012 all the way to 2024, it changes very, very, very frequently. But one of the coins that always comes back, cycle after cycle, is Dogecoin. And Doge is one of the most well-known, I would say, meme coin in crypto. So that's been consistent, I think, throughout our time, pretty consistently. This cycle, I think it's been even more evident about how easy it is for crypto to financialize things that already exist on the internet. That's one of crypto's superpowers, in my opinion. And with how much people are online now, there's memes that go viral on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all these different places. And these memes are known by a very wide distribution of people. So when you financialize those memes in the same way that you financialize attention with businesses in Web 2, that's how they end up going to such high prices.
Mike, do you want to touch on some points?
Yeah, so just if I were to super simplify meme coins and their importance, if you look any given day at the top 30 coins by trading volume, you'll have at least 10 meme coins in that number. And that's not changed for a number of years, right? That's been pretty consistent, and in fact, the share is increasing, going as far back as Dogecoin, more than a decade ago. So, a critical part of the crypto ecosystem, and in fact, I think even more so as people become increasingly confused about why the coins that are being introduced these days need to exist. So meme coins are critically important in my opinion, and almost, I think, empirically to the future of crypto.
Yeah, Murad, do you want to touch a little bit on what you think the evolution has been? You've been a very early sort of Bitcoin adopter, and you kind of transitioned to more of a meme coin advocate currently.
Yeah, so in 2017, during the parabola, right, we had one meme coin. It was Doge. In 2021, there was a very famous dog season, and we had 1,000 dog coins, and I believe 4 of them went above 5 billion, right? This time around, it's growing exponentially. I believe we already have over several million meme coins, technically speaking, and I believe that in 2025, meme coins will continue to outperform everything, pretty much. If you study past cycles, and if we assume that this cycle and 2025 specifically is going to be similar, even remotely similar, then you will see that the assets that outperform in year 3 of a cycle go ballistic in year 4. And if you look at the top 3 pages of CoinMarketCap, aka top 300 coins, only 42 of them have outperformed BTC since the beginning of the year. And you have 13 of the top 20 being memes. You have like a good chunk of AI in the middle, and a bunch of sex coins like at the bottom, right? And I think the bitter truth is that people are realizing that the token is the product in crypto, more so than software itself. Not always, but in many cases. And I think the world outside of crypto is changing in the sense that the global money supply is like growing exponentially. And I think that has an effect on people's like mental health. And so they're essentially being forced further down the risk curve. So it makes sense that in 2017 we had like altcoins and ICOs. And then in 2021 we had like DeFi, GameFi, a lot of like Ponzi-nomic type stuff. And it's just purely logical that whatever is going to go crazy in 2025 has to be even crazier than that. And so bubbles, even dating before 2017 and just outside of crypto, bubbles always happen with assets that are difficult to value in like Microsoft Excel. And I think meme coins like not having revenues, not having utility, like not having any metrics essentially, is extremely bullish because they can go as high as possible. And in the consciousness of the market, we've already seen like Pepe go high, WIF go high. We've seen Doge and SHIB go to 50, 100 billion. So retail knows that this can happen. And the amount of unlocks that you have on the tech side is like over 155 billion over the next 4 years. So there's like a lot of headwind on like the tech stuff, and there's like no headwinds on the memes. They're fully circulating. So I think like the best among them are going to go crazy. That's what I believe. And so I'm essentially trying to evangelize that idea.
Yeah, you've been pitching like the meme coin supercycle idea for a bit on Twitter. Maybe last person, Andre, do you want to talk more about like your investor perspective on meme coins?
No, first of all, from investors' perspective in meme coins, they give you a feedback if your investment is successful or not, much faster than utility tokens. Because there is no wasting, no development time, nothing. You invested, you see your result. You have money or you don't have money. But statistically, there is also like quite large risk, right? As Murad said, right? And this year, millions of meme coins have been launched. But how many successful ones have been launched? Just a few. And nobody talks about those millions. And someone launched it, someone bought it, someone sold it, and a lot of money was burned, just a lot. And that's why I would say that from investment perspective, it's very important what kind of narrative this meme coin follows, what kind of character this meme coin uses, and how many people can follow it, and what kind of influencers support it. Because meme coins, from investment perspective and from meme coin perspective, it is not just something random. Of course, some randomness is happening, and even a single miner with one mining machine has a chance to win a reward for a Bitcoin block. But this chance is way less than a mining factory that has like millions of mining machines. Same here. Meme coins are a proper business when you need to structure everything from the beginning to the success. And without this, it is purely gambling, and I would say that with very high debt rate. But if you found something good, with good team, with good narrative that can perform, can involve good influencers, good community, it usually outperforms the market. You could take a look at top meme coins on the market and compare it with any of top VC coin on the market in a large scale, let's say 3-5 years. No one can compete with meme coins.
Yeah. I think another good point to touch on is how meme coins are successful and why they're successful. I think there's a lot of criteria that goes into, what makes a meme coin viral. And we've seen examples where, Ansem, you were very drawn to like the WIF community, Murad with like the PubCat Giga community, Murad with like Bonk and some others, and Andre with like Notcoin and some other Ton coins as well. So I guess wanted to touch on what you guys think are like the secret recipes of what makes a meme coin successful. Maybe we can start with Mike.
Yeah, so there's no one recipe. The cool thing, so basically in 2021, 22, we had this sort of NFT craze. It became clear that people would sort of speculate around these images, and they sort of tried to pretend that the fact that they were non-fungible was what was interesting. But it was really just like, hey, we're enjoying these communities, and we're speculating on them, and we're having a lot of fun, and we identify, and then we move on to the next one. So meme coins, I believe, are like an advancement of that. So the ones that do best, foster a community, different types, right? So Murad talks a lot about cults. I'm sure he'll talk about that after me. But we'll use Bonk as an example. That was at the bottom of the last bear market. Solana, not a lot of on-chain activity. Bonk launched airdrop to developers, to anybody who had basically transacted on-chain, and said, hey, let's rally around this coin and let's get folks excited about the fact that maybe there's some value, we can identify, we can rally together. And it was anybody could participate. You could go to hundreds of thousands of people versus NFTs, which could only go to like 1,000 or a few thousand. So it has worked out pretty well. They partnered with like a bunch of different projects in the community, and it became sort of a resurgent brand in the Solana community. WIF then came along, and I think accelerated that and maybe put it on steroids in a good way. And we've seen what's happened since. But the point is, it took a lot of those early principles of community, fun, doing things together, and made it sort of more divisible, expandable to more people, and it's basically taken it to its like logical extreme at this point, where we're launching tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands, some days of coins. It gets back to the old, there's tens of millions of YouTube videos launched per day. But the principles stand, which is that anybody can launch these things now. To stand out, you have to matter and have meaning, and have like some principle underlying why you should exist. And anybody can participate. It's permissionless, it's fun, and nobody should make you feel bad about enjoying meme coins. I say that as like a very serious VC.
Yep. Ansem, do you want to touch on what made you very drawn to like the WIF community?
The WIF story is actually pretty funny. I think generally there's a few different attributes that you can look at when you're talking about meme coins. The first one, which I think is the most important, is relatability. So if you think about your average person, doesn't know anything about crypto, finance, anything, if they can identify a meme coin to something they relate to or something they know already in their life, then that meme is a lot more likely to go viral than anything else. Like one of the reasons that Doge did so well last cycle is because people didn't need to know what a blockchain was, like what a L1, L2, like didn't need to know what DeFi was or how it worked, but they were able to connect a dog and coin. Like it's that simple to people. Same way with WIF, like dog with a hat. I think the second thing is like virality. So you have these memes that either exist on the internet already or are created by some group or some group of devs, but you need a way to get them widespread to a lot of people. So how is this meme coin going to go viral? It can be that it's connected to something that's already very popular, or like, I think people with a lot of followers on social media are actually really pivotal in the early stages of these meme coins because they just have so much outreach to people. So the virality is another big thing. And then distribution is also a really big part of memes. So early stages, when you first launch a coin, if you have like one person or a few people who have a ton of the supply, that can be really bad because it can put a cap on how high the meme can go. If something goes to 10 million, one person has 10% of the float, and like that's $1 million in UPNL for them, you're typically going to have a cap. But if you have more distribution, as in like a ton of holders who have a smaller percentage of supply, that's typically better for the memes in early stages because then you also have an army of people who are rallying behind the meme all at the same time. That's what happened with WIF. Like when I first saw WIF, it was around 100K market cap, I think like late November, December. And I have this Telegram chat, which is like all the people I'm just talking about trades on Solana eco with. And it was getting spammed in my Telegram chat, like nonstop. Every single week, they're back on it. So I had a ton of people who didn't have a lot of like capital in the coin, but it was a ton of people like in WIF. And so when like I sparked it, when it went viral on Twitter, you always had that really strong community early on. That was really important. I think the last thing is like extensibility. So WIF, one of the really cool things about WIF is that the hat you can put on anything that is already on the internet. So you can meme other things that already go viral or people already relate to and attach WIF to that. So if you can attach the meme coin to something outside of just itself really well, that's another way that things go really viral.
Yeah, I think, Murad, you also mentioned a very interesting point where in order for meme coins to be successful, it has to be a cult of some sort. Do you want to touch more on like your cult versus community thesis? Yeah.
Yeah. So a very important concept to understand, I think, for the coming year is the rate of daily meme coin production. So in December 2023 and January 2024, like the nature of the meme coin market was completely different from March 2024 and even today, right? But generally, back then you had, I don't know, 20 meme coins being created per day. Right now you have 10,000 meme coins created per day. I wouldn't be surprised if next year we'll reach a point where 500,000 meme coins get created per day, right? So you need to essentially sit down and do an extreme thought experiment. You need to assume that in the future, there's going to be a meme coin for every animal, every word, every number, every country, every person. Essentially, like every concept in existence is going to be turned into a meme coin, right? And you need to ask yourself, in that environment, what is going to win and what is going to lose, right? And I think what's happening right now, and like launchpads like Pump Fund are accelerating this process greatly, is the meme coin industry is essentially splitting into two. One, which we refer to as like PvP, aka hyper gambling, which is like much more short term, intraday, intra-week at most, just kind of like in and out, like quick flips, etc., right? And the other is PvE, which has more to do with like cult building, community building, for a lack of a better comparison, like trying to build the next Doge, at least attempting to be multi-cycle, and just like having more substance about it, right? And in order to identify the latter, and I believe like the majority of the world, the majority of retail, and I think even the majority of people here in the audience, they don't want to like rotate multiple times a day. They don't want to like scalp trade multiple times a day. I think like the vast majority of people, they want to find something they like, buy and hold. Like buy and hold for a few months, right? And I think you need to figure out, this is why it's getting much more competitive, right, obviously. Because when WIF came out, it was a completely different market. When other stuff came out, it was a completely different market. Like when Pepe was like the only coin at the time, right, this cycle. Then WIF, there was already like 100 coins. Now there's millions. So you need to now find like diamonds in the rough. And fundamentally, meme coins are supply divided by demand, right? Or I should rather say demand divided by supply. And so when we talk about cults, we're focusing on the supply part. What does that mean? Cults mean people are not going to sell, right? And a lot of this stems from like the average holder. Where do they think the market is going, right? If you look at a lot of like pump fund launches and in the trenches or whatever, people are like trying to sell at like 10 million, 20 million, 100 million, right? But then there's a handful of communities where their holders genuinely, no matter how delusional that sounds, they genuinely believe this is going to like 10 billion, 50 billion. 100 billion, etc., right? So you need to find those communities because holding is a function of belief, right? That's like the supply side. So the other side is if people don't sell, and then the demand eventually comes in, then like the green candles are going to end up being longer because like there's no sell pressure. Because those guys believe we're going to 100 billion. If they genuinely believe that, they're just like not going to touch the coins. So it's just demand only. Like, that's why I think parabolas are going to happen in memes. Last thing, if it's a true cult, then even while you're asleep, you essentially have like an army of obsessed schizos who are like working for their bags, working for your bags, right? So a lot of people right now, they're making the mistake of thinking that meme coins are dangerous. I actually think if you identify culty ones, they represent safety. They represent emotional safety precisely because if it legitimately is a cult, people are not selling, right? Second thing is, when you tell a random person the word meme coin, they think like dogs and cats, like funny pictures. But my thesis is that as years go by, we're going to start seeing a transition from funny meme coins to serious ones, right? That they don't need to be a joke. Like, it could be a serious thing. And so the way I see it is we're going to have billions of meme coins. That's totally fine. I think we're going to have like 100 meme coins that are based on real memes that are going to be legit. I think we're going to have like 20 cults. And I think within those 20 cults, you're going to have like hardcore movements or like mission coins, as I call them. And like those 3, 4 like mission coins, I think they're going to go to the highest market caps. And essentially, if you're trying to find like the next big winner, you want to find like the next mission, the next movement. Because when you wake up in the morning at like 6 a.m., right, an animal coin like doesn't really inspire you that much. But if it's a mission coin, people are really going to hustle like crazy. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a good segue to start talking about Pump.Fun. You know, it's one of the most innovative crypto applications that has come out in this cycle. Maybe, Mike, do you want to touch a little bit on the implications of Pump.Fun? You know, there are two extremes where people are like, okay, Pump.Fun is very bad for retails. You know, like only 1% of the retails are making money from Pump.Fun, for example. And then the other side of the coin, where people love Pump.Fun, you know, it's a way for anyone to launch a token. So I think it's, you know, two sides of the spectrum, if you want to touch on it.
Yeah, so obviously a bit biased as an investor in Pump. You know, it gets to the Chris Dixon, you know, everything important starts out looking like a toy. What Pump did is they basically made the creation of coins, you know, we can call them meme coins, but there's all types of coins that are launched on Pump. And even Murad is getting towards the point that we call everything meme coins, but there's millions of different types of coins launched. But anyway, Pump reduced the cost, the UI UX to basically zero now to launch a coin. So I think that's a good thing. It allows anybody to create something of value, put it out there, promote it, in the same way that 5, 10 years ago, people first started to be able to put, well, many years ago, text out there, and then video, and with TikTok, you know, we have endless distribution. So we're at the very earliest stages of people being able to, with no hurdles, distribute something that has potential value, right? It was like Mark Andreessen's dream when he invested in the browser, like money could flow between, you know, people on any, you know, web page, and it would be part of the protocol, and it would literally be part of the core internet. We're now getting there in sort of a hacky way, 30-something years later. I'm not, maybe that's too, I'm sounding like a VC now. All right, so that's too maybe overstating what's happening, but the cool thing is anybody can launch something that anybody else in the world can ascribe value to. And Pump is doing it, and there are other really cool companies doing it in, I think, really cool ways, but Pump's doing it in a way where there's like incredible social features around it. Chat, you know, live stream, now multiple live stream that looks like, you know, Twitter live chats, and they're just constantly iterating, and it's sort of like mixing TikTok and social with money. Where it is today, if you look at it, and if you kind of snapshot some of the stats, the stats that 99% of people lose money, dead wrong, right? Like, you can't see what's happening when the coins are on the bonding curve, where people are generally losing money. But the cool thing is they've opened it up. They've clearly made people extremely interested in this fact that we can launch a coin, we can create an instant community, and it's accessible to everyone. The question is, where do we go from here? And what we're seeing, and I'll leave it at this so other folks can talk, is you see sort of adjacent projects doing, hey, live streaming, live betting, social streaming and betting and sort of opinion markets and live prediction markets. So we're sort of starting to, I think, foster this really cool thing where people can not only speculate, but like put a real opinion and maybe stake a little bit of money and value behind things that are happening in real time. And that like is human. I mean, that's like what people are doing on the streets like all the time. That's what we're doing with our friends when we hang out and we're watching a sports game, we're playing a game in our house. And now we're just bringing it out, and we can do it with anybody in the world. I think it's an incredible, it's an incredible 0 to 1 change.
Yeah, I think maybe since we have 10 minutes left of the panel, maybe a more interesting discussion is, are meme coins capped to the potential of their L1s? Because you see a lot of people entering Solana because they are investing in Bonk or WIF or any other Solana meme coins. You've seen other chains launching their own meme coins. So what do you think are the potential of meme coins capped to the price of their L1s, or can they actually outperform the L1 itself?
Definitely, that meme coins are a very good user acquisition tool for almost any chain, not only for L1s, but also for L2s. We can see a lot of examples how meme coins push these chains, right? You mentioned Solana. After Bonk, hundreds of thousands meme coins were launched even before Pump Fund. Then millions after Pump Fund. Then Say, last year, it was not TVL, not trading volume. In January, some nice meme coins was launched. Volume spiked, TVL spiked, user wallet spiked. Of course, people want to have something to play with. People want something to gamble. People want something for entertainment. And meme coins is the easiest way to attract these people. Definitely, it's important. And then and if the distribution of these meme coins is really nice, and if covers like really huge audience, huge number of people, then these people, when they sold these meme coins or when they hold these meme coins, it doesn't matter, they could try to do something else. Especially if they sold. Let's say if they sold, I don't know, Notcoin airdrop, and now I have $20. It didn't change my life, right? But I could try to buy something. I could try to start, trading on centralized exchange and decentralized exchange. I can exchange the parts to the L1 native token. Of course, this is nice onboarding, and then I can think beyond. And from this point of view, meme coins, I would say they're not only important for the crypto, for certain layer one, but also for the industry, because they can help, they help onboard more people in the crypto in general.
Yep. I think we can also touch a little bit on celebrity coins. It's been quite a heated debate. So Ansem, do you want to maybe take this off?
Sure, I can speak to the celeb coins. My idea on the celebrity coins is we kind of have made the stack of launching and trading meme coins a little bit more efficient with Pump Fund. I think it made it a lot more efficient, like how easy it is for people to launch coins. The piece of the puzzle, or one of the pieces of the puzzles that has not been solved yet, is the trust aspect. So for the meme coins that do end up doing really well, they usually have like people who are championing them, and I have like a ton of followers online or influence in other ways. Like Elon with Doge was a big part of that. You have people like the DWF Labs, who's working on the trading and market making side of things. There's really not a solved way to like know who all the different pieces are behind these teams, behind these meme coins. And one of the issues with the celeb coins is the teams behind them, a lot of them had bad intentions, but they had all of the attention from either Web 2 or other areas, and it was like a mismatch there. My idea on celeb coins and why they make sense is the amount of influence and like social capital that celebrities, athletes, artists have in other areas, if used in the right way, can also be used to direct attention to some product, some coin, something. But the issue is you have a lot of bad actors. And when you have a lot of bad actors, it kind of can paint a bad picture for the entire idea or thing.
Yep. Do you guys have any thoughts on celebrity coins?
I think it's early. Like, to date, most have failed. Like, I think Iggy's here and Mother's doing pretty well. It's like any other sort of startup or new project. Like, most of them are going to fail. In this case, as Ansem said, we had a lot of bad actors, but I think there's no question if we do this right, again, the notion of like putting out tokens that have value tied to your identity, tied to your humanity, and tied to your community that you connect with are going to matter. But yeah, that doesn't mean like, hey, launching a coin with a send money to this address and then sort of sniping it and dumping it. So I think, unfortunately, there were a few folks who got involved early and sort of screwed it up for most folks who were interested. And I think Murad's got it right. The folks who sort of do it natively or in the trenches probably are the ones who are going to be most successful, not celebs right now.
Yeah. I think we've touched a lot on sort of the current landscape of meme coins. Maybe now we can look a little bit into the future. What do you guys speculate are going to be new innovations in the meme coin space, if there's any?
I think that the way I look at the current pump fund, I look at it as like a mini game that people play. And people have kind of wrote off gaming in crypto, I think, pretty actively this cycle. I think that's going to be wrong. I think that there's going to be a lot of ways that you set up similar mini games to pump fund with coins, NFTs, all these different things that people can play with like high expectations of winning. Even though it's like low percentage of winning, they're trying to hit a 10,000x. I think that people are going to try do creative things with gaming around like coins and NFTs. One of the things that hasn't been touched on as much this cycle as I've expected is the hybrid, like the 404s, which is NFTs that can be fractionalized into coins. I'm actually really surprised we haven't seen more projects do that in interesting ways. So I think that's going to happen as well.
Yeah. One other one I'll say is like when I have an initial conversation with founders and they plan to launch a token, I often ask them, even if it's a serious project, like, do you actually think that your token is going to have fundamental value, or do you think it's going to have like memetic value? I mean, if you look out in the market today and you try and do valuation or like any sort of fundamental cash flow analysis on most DeFi tokens, DePIN tokens, you're just not going to get to anything that would make you buy most of these tokens relative to purchasing equity, in the larger public stock markets. So I think one thing that's going to happen in the future is a recognition that crypto, one of its massively, I think, amazing and wonderful attributes is that virtually everything that has value today, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, has bootstrapped immense amounts of its overall value that it's accrued to date via memetic value, right? Bitcoin as a sort of emerging store of value when it was not that many people mining it many years ago. And I think that's so critically important. Helium, bootstrapping DePIN before there was any revenue, but getting folks involved in this network, caring about it. So I just think memetic value is going to pair much more with virtually every project in crypto, especially as we hear about things like AI and crypto and some of these themes that we were talking about earlier. that I believe actually will get investors really interested in buying these themes and these names and really riding with them for 4, 5, 6 years until they start to return, call it, again, real utility or underlying fundamental value.
Yep. I think if we're wrapping up right now, so maybe a spicy question to end. If you were to pick 3 meme coins to hold for the next cycle, what would your picks be? Let's start with Andre.
What meme coins would I hold?
To hold, yeah.
I prefer to not give any advice. I made a tweet essentially today, and yeah, I don't want any advice anymore.
I would say Whiff, Mog, and probably Michi, I think. 3.
Yeah, so I can't give financial advice. I'm a registered investment advisor, but I'll just talk about meme coins that I like. BTC, Sol, and USDC.
The 3 highest conviction picks I have right now are SPX 6900, Giga, and Popcat.
Do you want to go into why you picked those 3 options?
Yeah, for sure. So first of all, everything I mentioned is a cult, but then you need to start asking yourself, like, what's after cults? Because like all of the top 20 are going to be hardcore cults. So how do you like take it to the next level? And SPX 6900, for example, and Giga to an extent as well, I feel like they have a potential to evolve from a cult to the next stage, which is a movement, right? So if meme coins originally started as like pretty much tokenizing pictures and memes, we are now going to evolve to a more serious level, which is tokenizing ideology or tokenizing philosophy, tokenizing like extremely abstract like political ideals. And I think those things, if they really, really go viral, they can go to ridiculous valuations. And I will make even a concrete prediction that we will see 1 or 2 meme coins go above Doge's all-time high of 95 billion.
I would probably give some, without naming meme coins, right? But just in general, if we're talking about meme coins to hold for next cycle or for this year, I would take a look at memes that have FDV up to above 20 mil, with the small exchanges perpetual markets, but with no Binance perpetual markets. Then your risk is kind of less than to buy something on Pump Fund, because when it is listed somewhere, it could be crashed, but not immediately, right? But your potential upside, if it gains traction, could be like 10 times, 20 times or more. That's, in general, advice like this, and we make decisions like this. Yeah.
Yep, I think with that, we'll wrap up the session for today. Thank you guys for coming, and hope you enjoyed the session.